The dream of buying in Nevada is starting to crack. The neon lights still glow, the casinos still buzz, but behind the flash, something's shifting. Home prices are sliding, inventory is piling up, and confidence in the market, it's completely evaporating. What was once a haven for affordable living and quick flips is now becoming one of the riskiest places to buy real estate in 2025. In this video, we uncover the top 10 Nevada cities where housing prices are crashing fast in 2025. These aren't just cities where the market is cooling. There are places where the data is flashing warning signs, and buyers are quietly backing away, fearing a full-blown crash. This isn't just a slowdown, it's a full-on unraveling. So if you care about where your money goes, hit that subscribe button now. This is Discover the Nation, and we're diving deep into the truth behind the Nevada's housing market. No fluff, no hype, just facts that could save you thousands. Let's dive in. Number 10. Laughlin. This unique border town, nestled along the picturesque Colorado River, once offered a more subdued, budget-friendly allure, a place for tranquil casinos and accessible outdoor escape. Its housing market experienced a surprising, albeit quieter, boom during the pandemic, driven by remote workers seeking extreme affordability and a ripple of investor interest. The median home price in Laughlin reached around $280,000 at its peak in mid-2022, a notable surge for this often overlooked community. However, in 2025, Laughlin's market is now showing profound signs of a crash, threatening its very pulse. The median home price has now dipped to an estimated $245,000, representing a 12.5% drop from its peak. Homes are lingering, with average days on market increasing to over 80 days, and inventory is visibly ticking up as sellers face a rapidly shrinking pool of buyers. A post-pandemic normalization of travel, coupled with relentless inflation impacting the discretionary spending of its core visitors, has led to a dramatic softening of demand. The very affordability that once drew residents now struggles against rising insurance costs common to riverfront properties. As investor interest wanes and the supply of homes slowly but surely outpaces the very limited local demand, Laughlin streets are becoming less lively, its businesses seeing fewer patrons, and the sense of community vibrancy is quietly dimming. It's starting to feel less like a bustling resort and more like a place where the dream of ownership is fading fast. Number 9. Dayton. Just east of Carson City, Dayton was once billed as Nevada's next big thing, a quiet, affordable town with enough land to stretch your dreams. But in 2025, that promise is falling flat, and its housing market is facing a brutal and painful correction. New homes that once sparked bidding wars now sit half-finished or totally empty. Median prices are down roughly 9% over the past year, and signs of buyer interest are fading fast. The once glowing dream of small-town growth is now flickering. Out-of-state migration has slowed to a crawl, and local infrastructure hasn't caught up to the population it hoped for. Many homes still rely on outdated utilities, spotty cellular coverage, and limited access to high-speed internet, a deal-breaker for today's remote workers. If you're gaining valuable perspective on these vulnerable markets and want to protect your investment, please gently hit that subscribe button to Discover the Nation. Your support powers our in-depth investigations. Buyers who thought they'd be cashing in are now stuck waiting. Appreciation is flat. Resale value is shaky. And with fewer amenities than neighboring towns, the appeal is wearing thin, fast. For first-time buyers or retirees, that flicker might not be worth the risk. The signs of abandonment are clear. Dayton's housing market is slowly unraveling, and for many, the promise of a quiet life has been replaced by the quiet of a market and profound decline. Number 8. Perump. Located approximately an hour's drive west of the glittering lights of Las Vegas, Perump has long been marketed as a destination for extreme affordability, expansive rural living, and a haven for off-grid aspirations. Its housing market saw a surprising and somewhat inexplicable surge during the pandemic, as people desperately sought escape from urban density and the allure of cheaper land, pushing the median home price to a peak of around $380,000 in mid-2022. But in 2025, Perump's market is experiencing a dramatic and painful pullback, tragically reflecting its highly speculative and unstable nature. The median home price has now plummeted to an estimated $325,000, a significant 14.5% drop from its peak. Homes are lingering on the market for an average of over 110 days, and available inventory has swelled by a staggering over 35% year over year, as many who bought purely speculatively are now desperately looking to exit at any cost. This profound downturn is primarily driven by the mass retreat of speculative investors and a harsh reality check on the romanticized rural escape dream. The initial pandemic-fueled rush has decisively subsided, and without strong, sustainable local job growth or a diverse array of economic drivers, underlying demand remains perilously shallow. The once-touted freedom of vast, empty lots now translates to a haunting emptiness, with properties that briefly found owners now sitting vacant, their dreams of development or escape replaced by the chilling silence of a market abandoned. Perump's brief boom has ended, leaving a trail of empty homes and a lingering sense of desolation.
Number 7. Carson City. As the state capital, Carson City often operates with a more subdued and generally stable economy compared to its larger, more volatile counterparts, primarily supported by government jobs and local businesses. However, it too experienced a notable housing boom, influenced by its close proximity to the more expensive Reno Tahoe area and a consistent influx of remote workers seeking a more relaxed pace of life. The median home price in Carson City peaked around $520,000 in mid-2022, a figure that quickly became unsustainable for many. But as 2025 relentlessly unfolds, Carson City's housing market is showing concerning and undeniable signs of severe contraction. The median home price has now declined sharply to an estimated $440,000, marking a substantial 15.4% drop from its peak. Properties are taking significantly longer to sell, with average days on market increasing to an agonizing over 90 days, and available inventory has climbed by a concerning over 28% year over year, pushing supply far beyond current demand. The primary factor driving this downturn is a severe affordability crunch, combined with a significant cooling off of external demand. Without the constant influx of high-earning remote workers and with local wages struggling to match inflated costs, more homes are simply sitting. Carson City's typically bustling residential streets and charming neighborhoods are gradually experiencing a chilling quietude, as the promise of growth turns into a lingering sense of stagnation. The lack of activity leaves behind an eerie stillness, a stark contrast to the hopeful bustle of just a few years ago.
Number 6. Fernley. For years, Fernley pitched itself as Reno's affordable escape, a place where families and investors could stake a claim without the city price tag. But in 2025, that promise is showing serious cracks, with its housing market crashing under the weight of a painful oversupply. The median home price in Fernley peaked around $430,000 in mid-2022, a figure that dramatically reflected its meteoric growth. But as 2025 barrels forward, Fernley's market is facing an uncomfortable and undeniable reality check. The median home price has now fallen sharply to an estimated $370,000, marking a painful 14% drop from its peak. Homes are taking significantly longer to sell, with average days on market climbing to an agonizing over 95 days, and available inventory has surged by an alarming over 30% year over year, creating a suffocating surplus of homes. The primary culprit here is a severe case of oversupply in new construction. Builders, anticipating an endless torrent of demand, aggressively developed vast new communities. However, the pace of new job creation, while robust, has simply not kept pace with the sheer volume of new homes flooding the market, leading directly to a massive glut of unsold, empty properties. Add in flat job growth and growing concerns over long-term water supply, and you've got a recipe for uncertainty. Infrastructure gaps are growing clearer. Some neighborhoods still lack basic services or suffer from poor road conditions. Even investors who bought in 2021 are now scrambling to break even. This isn't a complete collapse, not yet, but it's far from stable. Fernley still markets itself as a value buy, but for many, that value is shrinking by the day.
Number 5. Sparks. Sparks has always lived in Reno's shadow, but in recent years, that shadow turned into a spotlight and prices skyrocketed. Fast forward to 2025, and Sparks is now a chilling cautionary tale of rapid growth meeting a hard stop, with its housing market crashing under the weight of severe oversupply. The median home price in Sparks reached a feverish peak of around $550,000 in mid-2022, becoming alarmingly out of reach for many. But as 2025 barrels forward, Sparks' housing market is facing a painful downturn as its rapid expansion has collided head-on with a sharp, undeniable cooling of demand. The median home price has now plummeted to an estimated $460,000, representing a substantial 16.4% drop from its peak. The average home now takes twice as long to sell compared to 2022, and when it does sell, it's often after multiple price cuts. Bidding wars are gone, appraisal gaps are closing, and sellers who once dreamed of fast equity are watching the market flatten beneath their feet. If you're finding this crucial information for understanding Nevada's housing shifts, please gently hit that subscribe button to discover the nation. Your support is vital for our in-depth analyses. Add the skyrocketing insurance premiums, especially for homes bordering wildfire-prone areas, and you've got a market where total cost of ownership is ballooning beyond projections. Rent growth is flat, vacancy rates are rising, and long-term prospects are murky. Sparks hasn't crashed yet, but the market pulse is weak. If you're thinking of planting roots here, know this: what looked like a shortcut to Reno's equity wave may now be a detour into uncertainty, with too many homes and not enough buyers to go around.
Number 4. Henderson. As Las Vegas's largest and most affluent suburb, Henderson was long considered a seemingly impenetrable bedrock of stability and a safe haven for wealthier residents and a significant retiree population. Its housing market experienced a robust and seemingly unshakable boom, attracting high-earning migrants and those seeking luxury amenities, pushing the median home price to a dizzying peak of around $600,000 in mid-2022. However, 2025 has brought an unexpected, profound, and sharp chill to Henderson's market. The median home price has now plummeted to an estimated $490,000, representing an alarming 18.3% drop from its peak. Even in this traditionally stable market, properties are sitting longer, with average days on market climbing to an agonizing over 115 days. And available inventory has surged by a concerning over 30% year-over-year, as even affluent sellers face dwindling and increasingly cautious demand. The primary culprits behind the significant downturn are severe overvaluation combined with the crippling and disproportionate impact of rising interest rates on larger mortgage amounts. If you're finding this crucial information about market risks, please gently hit that subscribe button to discover the nation. Your support powers our in-depth investigations. The luxurious, once bustling communities are witnessing a slow but unsettling transformation. Homes that embody the pinnacle of suburban dreams now stand silently on the market, their pools unswum, their spacious interiors untouched, hinting at a quiet abandonment that few expected from such a prestigious address.
Number 3. North Las Vegas. This vibrant, rapidly expanding suburb of the greater Las Vegas metropolitan area experienced one of the most explosive housing booms in the entire state. Fueled by its relative perceived affordability compared to Central Vegas and a continuous, relentless stream of new residents and speculative investors, its median home price soared to a dizzying peak of around $460,000 in mid-2022. It rapidly became a prime destination for young families and eager first-time buyers seeking more space and perceived value. But in 2025, North Las Vegas is facing a truly brutal landing as its once hot market rapidly cools to a freezing point. The median home price has now plummeted to an estimated $380,000, marking a staggering 17.4% drop from its peak. Homes, which once vanished in a blink, are now taking significantly longer to sell, with average days on market climbing to an agonizing over 120 days, and available inventory has exploded by an alarming over 40% year over year, creating a severe and debilitating glut of unsold properties. The primary drivers of this rapid and painful decline are a severe affordability crunch for its working-class population combined with the overwhelming and crushing impact of persistently high mortgage rates. The rapid pace of new construction also contributed to an unsustainable oversupply. The vast, new neighborhoods, built with such high hopes, are beginning to feel hauntingly quiet. Streetlights illuminate empty driveways, and playgrounds designed for children sit unused, creating an unsettling atmosphere of a boom gone bust.
Number 2. Reno. Once affectionately known as the biggest little city in the world, Reno underwent a dramatic transformation from a traditional gaming town into a burgeoning tech hub, attracting major companies and a continuous surge of new residents seeking California alternatives. Its housing market experienced an astonishing and seemingly unstoppable boom, with the median home price soaring to a dizzying peak of around $620,000 in mid-2022. This rapid and unsustainable appreciation was fueled by aggressive tech job growth and a relentless influx of high-earning migrants. But in 2025, Reno's market is facing a truly harsh and undeniable reality. The median home price has now plummeted to an estimated $500,000, a staggering 19.4% drop from its peak. Homes are taking significantly and painfully longer to sell, with average days on market climbing to an agonizing over 130 days. And the available inventory has exploded by a terrifying over 45% year over year, creating a severe and overwhelming glut of properties. The primary drivers of this rapid and profound decline are a severe tech sector slowdown, mirroring broader national trends, and a critical and unbridgeable affordability crunch. If you're finding this crucial information about market risks, please gently hit that subscribe button to Discover the Nation. Your support powers our in-depth investigations. The very energy that once defined Reno's new identity is subtly draining away. The once optimistic tech campuses and revitalized downtown areas, while not outwardly deserted, are feeling a distinct chill. The absence of new faces, the increasing number of for sale signs, and the visible slowdown of daily life create a pervasive sense that the city's pulse is weakening, hinting at a future where its big aspirations might be overshadowed by an unsettling emptiness.
Number 1. Las Vegas. And finally, claiming the undisputed top spot on our list, the city where the housing market will crash hardest in Nevada in 2025, leaving it to become an undeniable modern ghost town, is Las Vegas. The entertainment capital of the world has always been a city defined by extreme highs and devastating lows, but its current housing market trajectory is setting the stage for a downturn that could be worse than its devastating 2008 collapse. After a massive speculative run-up during the pandemic, fueled by a relentless and unprecedented influx of Californians and remote workers, the median home price in Las Vegas soared to a dizzying peak of $480,000 in mid-2022. But as 2025 unfolds, Las Vegas is delivering a brutal and undeniable reality check. The median home price has now plummeted to an estimated $370,000, a staggering 22.9% drop from its peak. This rapid and widespread devaluation is a direct consequence of an unparalleled surge in inventory and a catastrophic collapse in buyer demand. Homes, which once vanished from the market in mere days, are now lingering for an average of over 140 days, a desperate and telling sign for sellers. Available housing inventory has more than doubled year over year, creating an immense, unmanageable, and suffocating glut.
The primary drivers of this swift, painful, and potentially unprecedented unraveling, potentially worse than its past. Firstly, the massive and accelerating retreat of out-of-state buyers and remote workers. Secondly, investor liquidation is now a dominant, overwhelming, and destabilizing force. Aggressive builders, who expanded to meet the former feverish demand, are now grappling with an immense and unsellable glut of new, unsold homes, forcing them into deep discounting that further depresses the overall markets. The vast tracts of new, empty homes, the quieted streets, and the sheer volume of vacant properties paint a stark picture. Las Vegas, once the epitome of a boomtown, now stands as the most unsettling testament to how quickly a vibrant city can acquire the eerie silence of a modern ghost town.
Final thoughts. The stark narratives from Laughlin to Las Vegas paint an undeniable and sobering picture of Nevada's rapidly shifting landscape in 2025. What was once hailed as an unstoppable boom has tragically morphed into a brutal bust across these key cities, characterized by rapid and severe price drops, soaring inventory, and a dramatic collapse in buyer demand. For countless homeowners who bought at the peak, the dream of endless appreciation has dissolved into the harsh reality of lost equity, negative equity, and the daunting, often impossible challenge of selling in a frozen market. The very pulse of these communities is weakening, replaced by an unsettling stillness. The common threads weaving through these struggling cities are crystal clear. Extreme overvaluation, crippling mortgage rates, a dramatic slowdown or reversal of critical migration trends, and the widespread, panicked retreat of speculative investors. These powerful factors, combined with local economic shifts and, in some cases, a burgeoning new construction supply, have created a perfect and devastating storm for rapid price deflation. This is far more than just a slight adjustment. It's a profound, systemic market correction happening at an alarming and unprecedented speed, signaling a potentially new and much harsher era for Nevada real estate. For many, this downturn carries the chilling potential to surpass the devastation of 2008, driven by unique and relentless pressures from current interest rates, widespread investor panic, and undeniable environmental concerns that threaten the very habitability of the region. As 2025 continues to unfold, the ripple effects from these rapidly declining markets could spread further, impacting national economic sentiment and buyer confidence across the entire country. Understanding these ground zeros of the housing implosion is not just about identifying the hardest-hit areas. It's about gaining crucial and vital insight into the deep vulnerabilities that exist throughout the broader real estate ecosystem and how quickly the lights can dim in a once vibrant community. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and most importantly, stay prepared. The housing market is a dynamic and often merciless beast, and knowing its true, unfiltered pulse is your best and most crucial defense. Don't forget to like this video, share it with anyone who needs to see this vital information, and of course, hit that subscribe button for more in-depth analyses from Discover the Nation. We'll see you in the next video, because sometimes knowing where not to buy can be the best investment decision of all.